और अभी फोटोग्राफ का हो गया, फोटोग्राफ का बोल दिया, ठीक है। उसको बोल कैमरा के इसमें कैमरे, अच्छा इसमें कैमरे की
Good morning, sir.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
Good, sir. Thank you.
Sunita ma'am, good morning. How are you? Thank you for joining. Thank you.
Good morning, sir.
Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Atl Fest Technovision 20.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you, ma'am. All the best. And good morning,
Thank
everyone.
you.
And a very
Thank
warm welcome.
you.
Hi, Dr. Ram Rekhani, all the very best.
Good
Thank you,
morning.
sir. Thank you very much.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning,
Good morning. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good
Hi,
morning.
good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Veni, ma'am.
Good morning.
Anita, ma'am.
Good
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Vinny ma'am. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Anju.
Good morning,
Good morning, Anju ma'am. Good morning.
Good morning, Mrs. Vinny.
Good morning, Sunita. All the best.
Good
Thank
morning,
you.
Veni ma'am. Good morning, Veni
Good
ma'am.
morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Hello,
ma'am.
good morning.
Jasleen, have you conveyed?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
पूजा
हेलो हेलो हाँ
पूजा
जी
वो म्यूजिक लगा दे, नहीं तो फिर आप लाइव है ना प्रोग्राम।
मैम जिस म्यूजिक लगाया था वो सब बोल रहे थे ना तो इसलिए मैंने
अच्छा म्यूजिक, हाँ थोड़ा सा म्यूजिक लगा।
Good morning, Sanjeev sir. Good morning, Veni ma'am.
Good morning, Pooja.
Good morning, Pooja ma'am. We welcome you to
morning.
ATL Fest Technovision 20.
Fine. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you.
ये होता है जैसे मैं कंट्रोल करती हूँ ना चीजों को लगा के जल्दी से लगा दो। हेलो
कुछ प्रॉब्लम है पूजा?
हाँ जी मैम।
म्यूजिक में कुछ प्रॉब्लम?
नहीं मैम कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, वो सब जब एक दूसरे को विश करते हैं तो मैम लगा दो।
क्या करूँ मैं बताऊँ?
मैं करती हूँ।
everybody.
Manoj sir, good morning. We welcome
Good
you
morning,
in
ma'am.
Atl Fest Technovision. It's so nice that you have used a virtual background. It's so nice to look at that.
It took little longer for joining because of the virtual background I had to add.
Okay.
It looks very nice.
Thank you very much, sir. Smita Mukherjee, welcome you. So nice to see you here among us.
Yeah, I now request my comparators, Devanshi and Aditi, to please begin the program. Devanshi, over to you.
Productivity is never an accident. It is always the result of a commitment to excellence, intelligent planning, and focused effort. A very warm good morning to one and all present here. In this new era of science and technology, Alcon realizes the need to create scientific temper, cultivate the spirit of curiosity, and innovation among young minds by setting up Atl Tinkering Lab under the new program of Government of India. Atl Tinkering Lab offers the space where the children can experiment with, learn, develop, and conceptualize different scientific ideas. Keeping this in mind, I, Devanshi Bali, and my co-host Aditi Jain, on behalf of Alcon team, welcome you all to the grand and the most awaited inter-school mega event, Atl Fest Technovision 2020. Over to you, Aditi.
Technovision encourages students to participate in learning-based activities, promote healthy competition, and cultivate an atmosphere where students can contribute to scientific advancements. Given the new normal due to pandemic, Alcon virtually offers a workspace where young minds can give shape to their ideas through hands-on do-it-yourself mode and learn innovative skills. It is so overwhelming to see the enthusiastic participation of schools not only from Delhi NCR but from all corners of India. We got the entries from south to west as well as from central India to north India. Good communication skills, appropriate social behavior, problem solving skills, and contextual intelligence are important life skills to be developed in young students. As a respected Prime Minister Narendra Modi rightly said, the more we give importance to skill development, the more competent will be our youth. Skilled India is the need of the hour, and Alcon today ensured one step towards its realization. Over to you, Devanshi.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the Zoom is ready. The networks are set. We, your hosts, are ready to steer you through this exciting, fun-filled, and enriching experience. With this spirit, I would like to extend my warm welcome to the Honorable Chief Guest of the day, Dr. Manoj Kumar Pataria, Principal, Alcon Public School, Dr. Deepak Raj Singh Bish, Manager, Mr. P.K. Bhatnagar, Vice Principal, Ms. Winnie Bharadwaj, School Administrative Officer, Mr. Vikram Rawat, Principal, Alcon International School, Mr. Sanjay Yadav, section heads of both the schools, and also my cordial welcome to the jury, teacher in charges, all the teachers, last but not the least, vibrant and ever enthusiastic fellow participants. True to the tradition of Alcon family, we begin the event by invoking the blessings of Almighty with the auspicious lamp lighting. Over to you, Smita ma'am.
दीप ज्योति दीपोहरतु मे पापम् दीप ज्योति परम ज्योति दीप ज्योतिर्जनार्दन दीपो हरतु मे पापम् दीप ज्योतिर्नमोस्तुते शुभं करोतु कल्याणम् आरोग्यं सुख संपदा द्वेष बुद्धि विनाशाय आत्म ज्योतिर्नमोस्तुते आत्म ज्योति प्रदीप्ताय ब्रह्म ज्योतिर्नमोस्तुते ब्रह्म ज्योति प्रदीप्ताय गुरुर्ज्योतिर्नमोस्तुते
I look around my screen and I am in awe with the collected expertise that is gathered here. We are highly honored and privileged to welcome our honorable chief guest of the day, Dr. Manoj Kumar Pataria. Sir is currently advisor and head of National Council for Science and Technology Communication, Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. In his prior assignment, Sir has served as the director of the CSIR, National Institute of Science Communication and Information Resources, New Delhi. Earlier, Dr. Pataria was responsible for setting up a 24/7 satellite TV channel, DD Kisan, including external broadcast. A well-accomplished scientist, science communication researcher, and practitioner. Sir specializes in biosciences, mass media, and policy. Dr. Pataria is decorated with prestigious national and international awards. Sir has a number of publications and 2 Indian patents to his credit. Dr. Pataria has edited and co-edited widely acclaimed books like Sharing Science and Science Meets Communication. Sir has been the visiting professor at National University of South Korea and University of Sao Paulo, Brazil. Sir also served as the outstanding professor of the Academy of Scientific and Innovative Research, an institution of national importance established by an Act of Parliament. Sir is the president of the Society for Information Science and the founding fellow of the Academy of Engineering and Technology of the Developing World. Recently, Dr. Pataria has been elected as the chair of International AASSA Special Committee on Shared Communication, that is recognition of positioning India at global level in the area of science and technology communication. We are honored to welcome you, sir. Over to you, Devanshi.
Today's Mega Fest Technovision comprises of 4 different events, and we have a battery of distinguished judges from across the globe for its judgment. I take immense pleasure to announce that most of the judges of the day are alumni of Alcon Public School. Alconites prosper not only in India but are eminent across the globe. Alcon had glorified past and glittering future. The first event is Artificial Expedition. It is a competition involving students to come up with new and brilliant robot designs to traverse impossible terrain, to explore the vast unknown, and rescue people from disasters which leave the lands devastated from its impacts. The robots will be judged on originality, design, the effectiveness of the robot during such impasses, programming and components used, and whether they can be integrated in society. It comprises of two rounds, prelims and final. Shortlisted schools will give presentations on the Zoom platform immediately after the inauguration ceremony. To judge this event, we have Mr. Dhananjay Gambhir and Mr. Pranabhat Sharma with us. Mr. Gambhir is an enthusiastic fourth-year ICE student pursuing BE from NSIT who believes in learning by doing. He is the founder of Team Invincibles Robotics. He has been recognized with various awards and achievements. Few of them are Innovate Award winner and runner-up at First Tech Challenge National Championship, runner-up at RoboWars Technovision International Robotics Championship, winner at TRIST IIT Delhi, winner at RoboSoccer and RoboWar at BITS Pilani and IIT Delhi. We welcome you, sir. With immense pleasure, I would like to introduce the next judge, Mr. Pranabhat Sharma. He is working as team lead in Tata Consultancy Services and is the founder of Club for Robotics Development and Technology. Sir has done BTech from SRM University. He has created a few major projects like cell phone operated home automation system, biometric vehicle control system, and disaster human identification. Sir is known for the best research paper for electrostatic discharge and winner of Robothon at IIT Roorkee. We welcome you, sir. I am thankful to both the judges for giving their consent to judge the live event of Artificial Expedition. Over to you, Aditi.
The second event is Transition. In this round, children will present a PowerPoint presentation on the given two topics. First, how can we follow the principles of social distancing and maintain sanitization after reopening of public places? Or second, how can we prevent the risk of being bullied, blackmailed, or exploitation due to the overuse of internet? To judge this event, we have Mr. Nitish Puri and Mrs. Sumita Mukherjee with us. Nitish sir has a dynamic and pleasing personality with effective communication skills. Sir is presently working as a business intelligence lead at IRI Chicago. Sir has done bachelor's in computer science from IP University and master's in information systems from University of Illinois, USA. We welcome you, sir. It's my honor to introduce the next judge, Mrs. Sumita Mukherjee. Ma'am is associated to teaching computer science for last 27 years in various institutions across the globe. Mrs. Mukherjee is pursuing PhD in computer science from Manav Rachna University, India. At present, working as a Director Advancement and Internationalization in Raira University, Nairobi, Kenya. Ma'am has worked as a HOD Computer Science at Alcon Public School for 16 years and first initiated the Silico Battle Fest, an inter-school competition among schools of Delhi NCR. Mrs. Mukherjee is also conducting the inter-varsity competitions among more than 35 universities of Kenya for last 4 years. Ma'am started a world-class robotics lab at Raira University in collaboration with Atl. Ma'am is chosen as one of the achiever in education in Kenya by a group of Media House Asian Weekly. We welcome you, ma'am. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to both the judges for their valuable judgment. Over to you, Devanshi.
Third event is Game Jam. It has two categories, Game Jam Senior and Game Jam Junior. In the senior category, students are required to make a 2D or 3D game on Unity or Unreal, after which they are required to make a presentation explaining the working of game, source code, and references, if any. To judge this category, we have Mr. Dhruv Yadav and Mr. Jasmeet Singh with us. Mr. Dhruv is a third-year computer science student from Indraprastha Institute for Information Technology, Delhi. He has explored multiple languages like C++, Python, Java, Unity Game Maker, etc. to make games. He has won multiple game jams and brought his games to a global platform. We welcome you, sir. With immense pleasure, I would like to introduce the next judge, Mr. Jasmeet Singh. He is pursuing BCA from Vivekananda Institute of Professional Studies from Indraprastha University. He is currently working as video editing freelancer. He had been honored as computer wizard and president of Surrender Club in Arcon Public School. We welcome you, sir. In the junior category, students are required to make a 2D or 3D game on Scratch, after which they are required to make a presentation explaining the working of game, source code, and references, if any. To judge this category, we have Ms. Malini Sharma and Mr. Neeraj with us. Ms. Malini Sharma is a PRT computer in Shahid Rajpal DAV Public School. Ma'am has done MSc in Computer Science. Ma'am has selected 2 ideas in the Inspire Award and won $11,000 in the Sambhav International Project. We welcome you, ma'am. With immense pleasure, I would like to introduce the next judge. Mr. Neeraj is currently working as lead consultant in Learning Links Foundation, partners of Atl Tinkering Lab Innovation Mission. He has done BTech in Electronic and Communication. Sir has more than 4 years of experience in the field of STEM, robotics education, and in Atl Tinkering Lab. He has trained ATL students and teachers across India. Sir was a coach in the World Educational Robot Contest at Shanghai, China in 2017 and won Best Team and Best Video Creator Award. We welcome you, sir. I am thankful to all the judges of Game Jam for gracing the occasion with their judgment. Over to you, Aditi.
The fourth event is ingenious. In this event, students are required to make a working project which can help the society within the restrictions of the components provided, after which students are required to explain the design. Originality in design and efficiency in code is highly promoted. We have 2 judges for this event, Mrs. Divya Garg and Mr. Jay Gupta. Divya ma'am has done BTech in Computer Science and Engineering from IIT Dhanbad. Ma'am has worked on various projects related to Edu App, Apna Smart Card, accident detection, and robotics projects. Ma'am stood among the top 10 all over India in the Amdocs Fest 2019. She had participated in Bombay Tech Fest 2017 and in international level RoboWars. Ma'am had conducted a workshop for students on robotics technology in 2017. We welcome you, ma'am. It's my privilege to introduce the next judge, Mr. Jay Gupta. Mr. Gupta is a third-year student pursuing degree in computer science from Nanyang Technologies University, Singapore. He has been the vice president of the Alcons Robotics Club and won several competitions such as RoboCup and First Tech Challenge. He is associated with a number of corporations, including Singapore Airlines. He is currently serving as the vice chairperson of one of the largest programming clubs in Singapore. We welcome you, sir. I'm thankful to Mrs. Divya Garg and Mr. Jay Gupta for their timely judgment. Over to you, Devanshi.
Now I would like to introduce our club president, vivacious and ever enthusiastic Rochak Ranjan. I would request Rochak to set the ball rolling. Over to you, Rochak.
Good morning, judges, teachers, friends, and participants. On the behalf of ATL Club, I, President of ATL Club, welcome each and every one present to witness this wonderful gathering of technophiliacs known as Technovision. ATL Club is a group of individuals that aim to create a technologically advanced and educational environment for the young and aspiring students. Today, we are gathered to applaud, contemplate, and judge some of the great efforts of the participants of the competition hosted by ATL Club. Over to you, Aditi.
Thank you, Rochak. Now I request Smita ma'am to show us the glimpses of Atl Fest Technovision 2019. Over to you, Smita ma'am. Thank you, Smita ma'am. Now I would like to invite our principal, Dr. Deepak Raj Singh Bisht, for his enlightening words.
Sir, you're not audible. Kindly unmute yourself. Sir, kindly unmute yourself.
मैं कर देती हूँ सर.
Sir, you are not audible. Please unmute yourself.
Sorry sir.
Am I audible, Miss? Miss Jasleen, am I audible to you?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir. Now you're audible.
Now you're audible.
Sorry, everybody. Thank you, Jasleen, for telling me that, for reminding me that I'm not audible. So, thank you, Divyanshi and Aditi. A very good morning to everyone. Honorable Chief Guest, Professor Manoj Kumar Pataria, Advisor and Head, National Council for Science and Technology Communication.
Spotlight that.
Our Vice Principal, judges, administrative officers from both the school, HMs from both the Elcon schools, convener ATL club, faculty members, parents, and dear participants. On behalf of Elcon family, I welcome each one of you to the second edition of Atl Fest Technovision 2020. I would also like to thank you all for sparing your valuable time to be with us this morning. It is great to see how technology has brought us closer with the enthusiastic participation of 200 plus students from 30 schools and the judges from across the globe. Many names, as Divyanshi and Aditi mentioned, of all the judges from India as well as from abroad. So Sumita from Kenya, Nitish from Chicago, and Jay from Singapore have joined us for today's event along with other judges for Technovision. Technovision is a platform for igniting curiosity and scientific temperament and to provide an opportunity to our young innovators to showcase their talent, ideas, as well as to participate in a healthy competition with their peers. This fest is an amalgamation of fun and learning where creative ideas are displayed and students learn and feel inspired. Dear students, one of the greatest advantages you have as youth is your curiosity and thirst for knowledge. As we become older, we tend to get accustomed to doing things in a particular way and avoid questioning. Therefore, it is very important to observe the things around you and be curious about what, how, why things are the way they are. If you look back in the history, all those who have been observant and curious were the ones who brought great innovation to our lives. Be it the innovation of planes after observing birds, or making the steam engine after observing a steam kettle in the kitchen. My advice to you, dear participants, is to keep observing things around you and to look for the possibility of innovation in each and everything. Secondly, every idea matters and there is no big or small idea. Therefore, never drop an idea because you think it's small. Without ideas, progress isn't made. Change does not happen. much of human development stops. So when you put your mind to work, whatever the focus, don't be afraid of what you think. You may stumble upon something brilliant. Therefore, dear participants, keep observing and always remember that every idea matters. I wish you all the very best in your journey of innovation. In the end, my compliment to all the members of ATL Club and other volunteers for working extremely hard for the success of today's event. I wish you great success. And once again, thank you everyone for gracing the occasion and have a great day.
Thank you, sir, for gracing the occasion with your presence. We can see Alcon as an institution flourishing in all aspects, including the need of the new normal, that is technologically under your leadership and guidance. Over to you, Smita ma'am. Thank you, Smita ma'am. Now I request our honorable chief guest, Dr. Manoj Kumar Pataria, to address the gathering.
Okay, good morning, everybody. And at the outset, let me congratulate the Alcon Public School, all its management, principal, vice principal, all the teachers, students, and all the participants who have assembled from different parts of the country on this Technovision program. It's my pleasure and privilege to be able to part of this wonderful program that very meticulously being organized. Especially, I enjoyed the addresses by young children who are really conducting the program and contributing a lot in organizing the program in a wonderful manner. The vision that you have and the vision that you have expressed and the vision that you want to percolate amongst the children of our country, especially for creativity-driven education. I really appreciate the way that you have organized this program for bringing all these ideas, all these insights together for really encouraging children for innovation. And I'm sure that the initiatives like Atl Tinkering Labs would immensely help develop a kind of spirit of innovation, especially amongst our children, with the help of learned teachers. Because the role of teacher is also very, very important. It is not only a student, but also teachers to encourage the student to take the right steps, to take the right path, and whatever hurdles are coming on their way. So there are teachers, good teachers, to resolve all of them. Or if they are unable to do so, they can really look for various solutions from different parts or different corners. And the solutions are always there. Let us understand very clearly. If one solution doesn't work, it doesn't mean that there is no solution. So you move forward and look very carefully. And what Deepak Vishji has already said, observation. And what I would like to add, the minute observation. So as you are able to observe very minutely, as others cannot do, you will be different. And by doing so, you would be able to see that others cannot see. And you can also motivate others to see the way you are able to see. It is developing together, growing together, moving together, and whatever you are achieving, so achieving together. So this sense of togetherness is also very, very important. It is not that you only yourself push forward, but others to take along. So these are some of the fundamental issues that I wanted to share with all of you, especially the younger children. And I am really delighted to be able to address you on this morning of the inaugural of Technovision. Such programs really help the children to enhance their imagination, to find out ways and means for putting things together in a different way, in a creative manner. I think let us not blame the syllabus, let us not blame the education system, but somehow the new education policy is giving a lot of room for innovation, and they are also for reducing the burden of a lot of syllabus from the students, and that will really pave some way for giving you a space for thinking. As a matter of fact, our children, our younger students, they are really not having much time to think. So thinking is the fundamental for any kind of development or any kind of growth. Before knowing anything or before creating anything, you have to think a lot. It is believed that if you want to educate or communicate, say for 1 gram of knowledge, so you have to go through 1 ton of knowledge. Out of 1 ton, you have to distill out this 1 gram. So that will really make an impact in the minds of the students. So this is the quantum I wanted to share with you, the difference between the knowledge that you communicate and between the knowledge that you yourself gather from different sources, and difference the knowledge, the quantum of knowledge. So the quantum of knowledge that you gather, the quantum of knowledge that you create, the quantum of knowledge that you will communicate, you will educate, I think it has all its values in respective manners. So I just wanted to emphasize on some of these very important aspects. And one of the aspects where we are working in the National Council for Science and Technology Communication is the inculcation of scientific temper and communication of science and technology. Generally, it is believed that if our society has a kind of scientific temper and with the knowledge of science and technology, will be more cohesive, will be more conducive, and will be more forward-looking, more developing society. So these two elements are really very, very important. But at the same time, there is a misbelief. Misbelief is that if we have done a BSc, MSc, or PhD, the scientific temper is automatically going to come to us. But that is not the case. Scientific temper is different from knowing science. Knowing science is different, and practicing scientific attitude is different. So these both things, although they come together, they come hand in hand, but they are distinct from each other. Scientific knowledge has directly nothing to do with the scientific temper. Scientific temper is way of thinking. Scientific temper is way of conduct in the society. How we are able to make things very in systematic order. How we are able to conduct in the society in a more cohesive manner. How we are able to even take decisions without any bias, without any prejudice, without any fear, without any greed, or without any kind of pressure. So if we are able to do that, it means we are having a scientific temper. So scientific temper directly has nothing to do with scientific knowledge. But if you have the scientific knowledge, that is an added advantage. But that is not the prerequisite for having a scientific temper. So scientific temper to us, more precisely, is a way of thinking, way of doing things, way of looking at things, way of finding solutions, way of the quest of knowledge, how to acquire knowledge, how to create the new knowledge. So this all methodology, I think, belongs to the scientific temper. So if one is able to develop that kind of, I think, bent of mind from the early childhood, I think that would be great. And that is a tool. As a tool, you can utilize in any walk of life, wherever you go. It is not only education, it is not only workshop, it is not only in marketplace, wherever it is, not only in education system, scientific research, or wherever in business, wherever you are. But if you are able to apply this method of science and scientific temper, I think your way of working would be different from the people who don't have the scientific temper. I would also like to clarify that a person who is working in the laboratory, possessing the degrees of BSc, MSc, PhD, and whatnot, they can lack scientific temper. But at the same time, a farmer, an illiterate person working in the fields can have the scientific temper. So the scientific temper is way of thinking, way of life, way of conducting in the society, way of conducting in your day-to-day life, but not really knowing science. So knowing science is different from being scientific. So let us be scientific. Doesn't matter whatever subject you are pursuing, whether you are in humanities or you are in management or you are in social sciences or science and technology, engineering, and wherever you are. But you must possess a scientific bent of mind. That scientific bent of mind will really lead you to the success. So these are some of the areas I wanted to really share with you. And one of the important elements that I always try to convey, especially to the younger students, that suppose if I am working in the Department of Science and Technology, so why this is science and technology? Why always we call science and technology together? So it has a great meaning, because science, as a matter of fact, science is a concept. Science itself can do nothing. Whatever we are witnessing around all of us is not really science. It is the derivatives of science. And the derivative of science is the technology. Like this, we are talking on this Zoom platform. This is science-driven technology. So only visible part is technology. Science remains almost invisible, because science remains at the conceptual level. So its visible part, its applied part is technology and engineering. So this is the basic difference between science and technology. So that is why our department is called Science and Technology, Department of Science and Technology. It is not Department of Science, or it is not Department of Technology. It is both, because both go hand in hand. Both are complementary to each other. So similarly, as I have discussed the scientific temper, there has to be a missing link. As technology is there, so there has to be something called technological temper. Because this is technovision, so I would like to give some emphasis on this technological temper on this point of time. More has been thought, more has been discussed on scientific temper, but we hardly discussed about technological temper. I personally believe that for the countries like India, we require a technological temper more than the scientific temper, although scientific temper is also important, and a combination of both of them really makes a wonderful difference, a great difference for the overall evolution, for the overall development, for the overall innovative aptitude of our children, of our people. So what is this technological temper all about? One of our former Director Generals of CSIR, that is Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, one of the biggest conglomerate of scientific laboratories all around the world, that is in India, CSIR India. It has something like 40 research laboratories in its fold, ranging from northeast to the remote south and east, west, center. Everywhere you will find, even in Delhi, you will find something like 5 laboratories, like NPL, National Physical Laboratory. If you go to Pune, you will find NCL, National Chemical Laboratory. Wherever you go, you will find a lab in all the states and all nooks and corners of the country. So one of the Director Generals, Dr. R.A. Mashilkar, who himself is a great innovator, he says that we are very good at Saraswati. Saraswati means science, means concept. So at conceptual level, we have very good ideas, wonderful ideas. But when it comes to converting this Saraswati into Lakshmi, Diwali is coming. We all worship goddess Lakshmi. So he says that when it comes to converting Saraswati into Lakshmi, we find it difficult. Means when we are trying to convert our concepts into technology, into innovation, we find it difficult. Although this new generation is coming up, bubbling up with a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm, with new startups, stand-ups, many new projects are coming. And I wish you that you come up with a competitive projects all around the world. I think that should be our vision. So Dr. Mashilkar says that when it comes to converting concept into technology or science into technology, I think we find it difficult. As a matter of fact, India is the 3rd largest country, having 3rd largest scientifically and technologically trained manpower in the world. As a contrast, India is the country which is importing something like 96% precision technology from outside. So what are we doing? So we need to inculcate this technological temper. We need to inculcate this spirit of innovation in the minds of our younger generation. We must provide them surroundings. It is not only inculcating, we must also provide them surrounding. We must also provide them an atmosphere to grow, an atmosphere to think, an atmosphere to identify the problems. Unless we are able to identify the problems, we are unable to find the solutions. So first we have to pinpoint the problems, and finding out the problems will come from the minute observation. So when you minutely observe, when you move into the society, when you mingle with the people, you will come across a number of scientific and technical problems. Then through your innovative spirits, through your entities like Atl Tinkering Lab, with the help of your teachers, and you will find out the solutions, especially the techno innovation solutions, and that will really change the country from 96% precision technology importing country to 96% precision technology exporting country. So this is how we are really very much optimistic. We are confident of our younger generation, and we want this change to occur sooner the better. So to make it more precise, to make it more clearer, when we are able to synchronize, align, my upper finger you can consider as head, and lower finger you can consider as hand. When we are able to synchronize and align our head and hands together in a way so that we can achieve excellence. So excellence should be the ultimate motive. Excellence should be the ultimate objective. Wherever we are working, no work is small, no work is big, unless we are confident and we are determined to achieve excellence. So if we go with this spirit, I think there will be no stone on our way to be unturned with the innovativeness and the spirit of innovation. So this is, in my opinion, the technological temper is more important in our society to be inculcated. Our society has to be innovative society. A lot of materials you come across is being poured from different countries, especially from our neighboring country, China. You look at the markets are flooded. Everywhere you will find a Chinatown. Everywhere you will find a China market. And most of the things are very small gadgets. And these gadgets are produced at very nominal costs. And how they are changing their economy. And all around the world, across the world is contributing to the economy of China. So this is how they are able to do that. Why we cannot do that? Whereas we have a lot of these technological institutions ranging from ITI, that is at a lower level, then polytechnics, then engineering colleges, then lot many systematic approaches we have. But unless we energize them, unless we motivate them, unless we enable them, or unless we provide the surroundings, a conducive environment for this innovative approach, we are unable to achieve this objective. So my humble suggestion and my request and my urge to all the teachers, all the students at this point, to let us together try to build up India's capacity. India has immense capacity. India has immense resources, manpower, natural, all kind of resources, all abilities. But only thing is to focusing them. Like yeah, you must have done the experiment of with lens when you put this lens under the sun, and you can burn the cotton, you can burn the piece of paper. So this is how we need to focus for overcoming this problem and converting this concept into technological innovation. So this is my message to all of you, to just find out the solution, find out the problem, work out the solution, and find out the way. This is how we should be able to change our nation sooner the better. So these are some of the my estate thoughts I wanted to discuss with you in this morning. Let me summarize these 5 elements what I have been discussing. Number 1, the scientific knowledge. Scientific knowledge is very, very important for overcoming number of solutions. Our country is suffering for many things. For example, now Corona is the buzzword all around the world. We are passing through this time of pandemic. So only awareness can really save us. So this awareness is very, very important. So knowledge is very, very important for overcoming number of problems. As a matter of fact, more than 80% diseases are caused by unpotable drinking water. This drinking water is causing something like more than 80% diseases. So how we are able to overcome? By treating the water. I am not saying that you must buy very heavy priced water filters. No, even simple filtering can remove the pathogens, can make the dirty water potable. So this is how we can really reduce the pressure of lot many diseases, waterborne diseases. So this is one aspect. So knowledge is very, very important. Second point that I wanted to emphasize on scientific temper. If you have the scientific temper, you have an analytical mind, you have minute observation, and you have a rational approach, then your way of life would be more, I think, comfortable, more favorable, more appropriate. Then third, I mentioned this technological temper. That is also important. And then innovative approach. So that is very, very, and above all, finding the solutions, finding the problems and finding the solutions. So all these 5 things, if you combine together, I think success is yours, and you will really bring in a change in the country that we have been aspiring and we have been looking forward. Wish you all the best. Thank you very much for giving me this wonderful opportunity for talking to you. Thank you very much. Namaste.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable words. We are deeply appreciative and offer you our most grateful welcome. Your illuminating words and achievements inspire us and gives direction to our career towards scientific exploration and welfare of society. Over to you, Devanshi.
I extend my heartfelt gratitude to our chief guest, Dr. Manoj Kumar Pataria, for sparing his precious time. To Principal Dr. Deepak Raj Singh Bisht for his continuous support and guidance. Manager Mr. P.K. Bhatnagar, ever supportive Vice Principal Ms. Winnie Bharadwaj, School Administrative Officer Mr. Vikram Rawat, judges, all section heads and in charges of both the schools, thankful to all the participating schools and fellow participants for being the part of the event. It's indeed a great honor to have you all with us. I request all the dignitaries to join us with the same link at 1 p.m. for the closing ceremony of Atl Fest Technovision 2020. And very shortly, we will begin with the live event of Artificial Expedition. I request all the participants to be ready with their presentations. I also request the judges of Artificial Expedition, Mr. Dhananjay Gambhir and Mr. Pranabhat Sharma, to continue with the same link for their judgment. This event is telecasted live on YouTube. Thank you everyone to be the part of this event. Over to you, Shreya.
Thinking is the capital. Enterprise is the way. Hard work is the solution. A very warm good morning to one and all present here. I, Shreya Jain, and my co-host Anushka Bansal welcome you all to the live event of Artificial Expedition.
It is a
So,
competition.
may I take leave now, ma'am?
Hear you out. Thank you so very much for being.
Thank you.
We'll
It was
love
very
if
nice.
you can join us at 1 o'clock during closing ceremony. We'll love, but like if you are able to spare time, so we'd love to have you there as well. But thank you so very much for joining us.
I think
it's lovely to hear you out.
Yeah, maybe some other time, may not be
Sure,
today.
sure, sir.
So, thank you.
so
Good
very
luck.
much.
Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your valuable words, enlightening words. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody. All the best. Namaste.
Okay, Deepak sir. You would like
Thank
to
you, everybody. Thank you, everyone, for joining. It's
All the
always a
best.
pleasure to see you people adding value to the events.
All
Thank
the
you.
best for your event, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Bye, team.
Bye-bye. Thank you very much.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Deepak sir. Best wishes for the event. We'll try and join again at 1. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, Sinta ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Aditi, you start, bete.
Chalo. Shreya, you begin.
Yes, ma'am. Thinking is the capital. Enterprise is the way. Hard work is the solution. A very warm good morning to one and all present here. I, Shreya Jain, and my co-host Anushka Bansal welcome you all to the live event of Artificial Expedition.
The competition involving students to come up with new and brilliant robot designs, to traverse impossible terrain, to explore the vast unknown and rescue people from disasters which leave the lands devastated from its impact. It can be designed for exploration underwater, space, underground, and even on land. Over to you, Shreya.
Schools appearing in the final round of Artificial Expedition have been shortlisted from the prelims round where they submitted the presentation explaining their robots and the 3D models. Over to you, Anushka.
In this event, finalists are required to present themselves on Zoom platform. The presentation can include Word document, PPT, or their STL files. Time limit is 2 minutes. 30-second grace time is provided. Exceeding time limit will lead to reduction of points. The participants appearing for the event will be judged on the basis of originality, design, possibility of implementation, and effectiveness. Over to you, Shreya.
Now, let me introduce you to the judges of this event, Mr. Dhananjay Gambhir and Mr. Pranabhat Sharma. We welcome you, sir. Over to you, Anushka.
The finalists are DPS Noida, DPS RK Puram, Amity International School Gurgaon, Icon International School, Bal Bharti Public School Pritampura, Bharti Vidya Bhavans Mehta Vidyalay, Delhi Public School Sushant Lok, Vidya Mandir Senior Secondary School. Over to you, Shreya.
Our first participating school is DPS Noida.
Yeah, participants of DPS Noida, are you ready?
Yes, we are.
Yes. Over to you then.
I cannot screen share.
Screen share. What's the problem, beta? You're not able to share your screen?
No, ma'am, I am not able to.
So,
Now you can share.
just try now. You can share.
Can you see my screen
Yes,
now?
yes, yes.
Yes, it's visible.
So, okay. Good morning, everyone. I am Varang Tiwari, and my partner is Rushal Rawat. Every year, on an average, around 1 lakh people die due to natural calamities. Natural calamities contain earthquakes, floods. These are the major natural calamities which kill the maximum number of people. In an earthquake, buildings fall, trapping people inside them. When emergency services go to rescue the people, sometimes they also get trapped or may even risk their lives. All of this is unavoidable. We cannot control an earthquake, and all the deaths are sad. So rather than putting the emergency services people in harm's way, we have developed a robot which can go through small areas and search for people, things, belongings. The robot we have made has an arm on the top which can pick up items with a claw, which can also be replaced with many other modules. The front claw is a powerful claw which can pick up rocks in front of in front of the robot. The robot also has two cameras, one in the front, which displays its live video feed to a screen in front of the operator, which can operate the robot from a distance of 500 to 600 meters. The other camera is on the top of the arm, which can turn in any ways and look around 360 of the robot. The robot we have created will cost from 90,000 to 1 lakh rupees. The robot can be controlled by two people at a time for maximum efficiency, but can also be operated by one person. Um, the robot has tank tracks which helps it to traverse difficult uh, tracks, and the cameras are wide field cameras which have 110 degrees of vision and are high resolution. The top arm can include many modules such as a magnet to retrieve magnetic objects which are stuck somewhere. The robot is powered by a lithium polymer battery. The tank tracks are controlled by four motors working in
Hello,
tandem.
this is Ravi. Hanji.
And the uh, communication through the robot is done through RF transmitter and receiver. The design of the robot is this. And that will be all.
Thank you. That was an amazing presentation. Our second participant is DPS Arkepuram.
DPS RK Forum is not students.
Ma'am, they're ready.
They have joined? Okay.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Tanmay and Aniket.
Yes.
Your screen is visible. You can start with your presentation.
Good morning to one and all. Today, I, Tanmay Singhal, along with my partner Aniket Negi, will be presenting Quaker, the entry from DPS Arkepuram for the Artificial Expedition Competition. So, what is exactly Quaker? Quaker is an earthquake relief robot designed to rescue people from life-threatening situations, assist human response teams carrying people or other heavy payloads up to 400 kg, clear rubble and other debris blocking the way to safety, and various other purposes. Since there is no knowing what kind of harsh conditions will be faced by a robot in earthquake disaster situations, it has been designed to be fully waterproof, fire and shock resistant. Quaker has the ability to climb surfaces with an inclination of up to 60 degrees, which is possible due to its high drive tank track system, powerful high torque geared BLDC motors, and nitrile rubber tracks. As you can see, this is the drive system for our robot. The robotic arm used will have freedom of movement in 5 axes and will be made of strong aerospace grade steel and high torque, low RPM NEMA stepper motors powered by stepper motor drivers. For the electronics used, we have used Turnigy 9-channel 2.4 GHz based radio systems along with TBS Crossfire receiver for excellent range and transmission of telemetry data. RC832 modules will be used for the camera systems. A variety of sensors like thermal, ultrasonic, gyroscopic, GPS sensors will also be employed. The computer used will be the Raspberry Pi 4 due to its low cost, decent amount of computing power, large number of analog pin inputs for the sensors, and ease of use. The battery used will be a 200 amp hour 48 volt lithium polymer battery pack with an estimated battery life of around 6 to 8 hours. This will allow the robot to work in the field for a long time without worrying of getting stuck. The robot body will be constructed out of aerospace grade 304 stainless steel and utilize parts such as mounts, brackets, and covers made from UHMW plastic to reduce weight. All parts will be joined in such a way that prevents liquid seepage inside the robot. As you can see, this is the final render of a robot. This robot chassis has the potential to be expanded upon and used for other purposes such as firefighting, bomb defusal, and to transport heavy payloads from one place to another for the military and for scouting purposes. After factoring in machining, electronics, materials, and research and development costs, we estimate the robot to cost around $100 to $120K to manufacture and operate. I would like to conclude by saying that Quaker is a step towards a future where humans and robots cooperate to save more lives in a natural disaster situations. Thank you. And that will be all.
That was incredible. Our next participating school is Amity International School, Sector 46, Gurgaon.
Is the screen visible?
Yes.
Okay, so Rajit.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Rachit Anand.
And I'm Atharv Gogia.
And our project is the UUEV. The UUEV is an unmanned underwater exploration vehicle which aims to help scientists in gaining more knowledge about the depths of the ocean. This vehicle can also assist in search and rescue operation. As we know that ocean exploration is a risky task which involves going into the depths of ocean, carrying a limited oxygen supply, which this project will prevent losses of life. Next slide.
This is the physical overview of our UUEV. The following parts that are marked in green. The utility arms will help the vehicle to manipulate its environment or pick up certain objects. The rudders are marked in green, which will help the robot to steer underwater, and the ballast stacks are also marked in green in this image, which will help the robot to increase or decrease its depth.
The diving planes will increase the stability of the robot. The high-resolution camera will stream live footage to the controller. The electric turbines will provide thrust to the robot so that it can move forwards and backwards.
This is an animation that shows the working parts of a robot. These are the maneuvering capabilities of a robot. It has a surface top speed of 20 knots and an underwater top speed of 24 knots, auto home functionality, a high resolution 27 megapixel camera with high dynamic range and optical image stabilization. The depth range is 0 to 1700 feet below surface water. The driving speed is 100 feet per minute, and it can also generate photochromatic models of the ocean floor landscapes. The GPS technology and network technologies used are mentioned here.
This robot has the following research capabilities. It has onboard DNA sampling, onboard physical sample collection, thermal and infrared cameras, global illumination lights, 100 terabytes offline database for sounds of all animals, and can capture and provide life support to aquatic animals as big as 1.5 cubic feet.
The body will be made of titanium to provide structural integrity to withstand extreme water pressure. The outer surface will be coated with a layer of super omniphobic material, which will help in waterproofing and reducing drag. The total cost is estimated at about 1.5 lakh rupees. These are the softwares that we use for this robot. Blender for prototyping, Autodesk Fusion 360 for final modeling, SimLab compiler and rendering engine for rendering and animation, Microsoft 360 Office 365, and Photoshop CC for labeling and color correction. Thank you. That concludes our presentation.
That was very well executed. Our next participant is Alcon International School.
Ma'am, is my screen visible?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so we shall start. So hello everyone, I am Amanja along with Arnav Chamoli from Alcon International, and we are going to explain the concept of a robot AJAC.
We have made a robot that is designed for natural disasters, specifically earthquakes, and can traverse difficult terrain and rescue people at the same time.
So coming to the face of the robot, which is quite important considering the fact it has sensors and camera. It should be 180-degree rotatable to ensure that everyone is being rescued, and a distance sensor as well as a PIR sensor shall be installed.
Now comes the body of the robot. Steel will be best for the body of the robot, as this sturdy metal is a smart choice if you are building a robot that needs to stand up to harsh conditions. The back of the body of the robot will be fitted with solar panels as to continuously charge the batteries and to provide external battery support to the robot.
So coming to the wheels of the robot. The wheels are a prototype by hand-cooked tires, and they are fast enough to reach different places. They can run on all kind of terrains, including stairs, which can help to rescue people in different places, and they're near to perfect for a robot.
Sensors. So what basically sensors are for? Sensors provide analogs to human senses and can monitor other phenomena for which human lack explicit sensors. We have used simple touch sensors, complex touch sensors, complex vision sensors, proximity sensors, and distance sensors in our robot.
So just continuing from where Arnav left, acceleration sensor, which is used to measure acceleration and tilt, and it is affected by static force as well as dynamic force. Then we have used force sensors.
Systems we propose to be used. We have used Visual Basics, Transceiver, and 2D imaging technology camera. With the help of Transceiver and Visual Basics, we will be able to send images and videos recorded to the control unit with proper data.
So coming to the main topic, how will it rescue people? The main aim of the robot should be to recognize humans by the PIR sensor and take them to a safe place. For example, if a human is standing near a building, the robot needs to take it to a safe place. The robot should be capable of lifting heavy objects up to 300 kg by hands. It might seem fictional, but it has been used in many robots. For example, the chimp robot. The robot would be monitored by humans, and we believe that humans and robots together cannot make a mistake.
Now come to the advantages of this concept. This system is an effective and a safe system to ensure the safety of the user as well. The system uses a transceiver, and this makes the system more accurate and reliable as it is being monitored by the control unit. The robot is being made by low-cost sensors but effective, which is the main advantage of our robot.
So, robots in Japan have helped humans to overcome natural disaster, and we are planning to do so. Just before we end, here's a sample of what a rendered robot it looks like. So as we said, it has a solar panel at the back, as well as the tires are a prototype by the Hankook Tires company. Thank you.
That was really wonderful. Our next participating school is Bal Bharati Public School, Pitampura.
Good morning, all. Today, I and my partner Sanchak Garg will be presenting our concept Hexa 360. Hexa 360 is a partially automated Land Rover, which would and a hexapod, i.e., it has 6 human-like legs. We opted for this design because it would help us to go across complex terrain without any problem. Because we know that wheels are not very good on covering mountain-like areas, which can be a very true possibilities if we are using this robot to rescue a person. We are developing this idea so that humans no longer have to send themselves to rescue someone, because that is extremely dangerous and can even cost the rescuers their life, and can be extremely harmful for the person. So we wanted to make our bots with legs instead of wheels and tracks, as legs make it easier to climb up debris, which can be there if in a case of earthquake. And we have made a chamber in the bot which would be about 8 feet into 3 feet. This would be crafted like a ambulance, because as we know, the person might be harmed due to the earthquake and might require severe medical attention at any second. So we will equip it with oxygen cylinders and other medicines, etc. The arm would be powered by a heavy duty hydraulic chamber, and the ram and it would provide it enough structural rigidity to pick up rocks which weight up to one ton. This would allow it to rescue many persons, because we went with a hydraulic chamber, because an hydraulic chamber is extremely efficient when it comes to picking up heavy loads, as we know that it can provide great power in a very small and compact system. This is a 3D design of a robot. We would code most of the part in C++ and Python using OpenCV and Microsoft Azure. We would use Microsoft Azure as our backup library, because I cannot personally say that I and my friend will be able to do everything ourselves, because that is extremely hard to do in AI, as it is a very new topic for us and almost all the students too. Now, computer vision would be used to feed the robot from the data from eight thermal cameras to installed at each side of the robot. This would provide it 360-degree vision and would help it to see every robot. The thermal camera would be used so that we can detect where exactly the person is, and it would be remote accessible via Wi-Fi and also RF transmission signals. We would make the robot climb up the debris by using computer vision, as we have formulated some we have written its code in OpenCV. We are writing its code in OpenCV, and we have formulated some mathematical formulas to determine how much height would the debris have, so that the robot can climb up the debris efficiently, as we need to know the height of the debris to accurately calculate how the robot should pick up how the robot should climb it up. We would make our robot by using aluminium and hazmat. Aluminium would be used because it is a very rigid metal and can be easily molded into different shapes. So it would be very efficient to make our internal structure, and then the internal structure would be covered in a hazmat shield, which is used by scientists working in nuclear plants. So it would be very efficient because this robot would be even able to rescue someone who's suppose in an area which has radiation leaking. So that would be and it would also be fireproof, waterproof, and shockproof and dust resistant. So it would provide great structural rigidity to our system. So in summary, our project is a can we move to the next slide? The bot is a hexapod which would allow it to move, which would allow it to climb up debris very efficiently. The robotic arm will use a hydraulic chamber to pick up heavy weights. The Hexa 360 can pick up almost 1 ton of weight in kg, and thermal imaging will be used to detect humans. The chamber will have a medical bed and medical facilities to help the injured. Each leg will be able to rotate on all three axes, so providing it 360-degree of motion. Hence it will be very easy to navigate it through a very compact area even. So if suppose the debris is lying all around, the pilot can easily navigate it across the area. So it would be extremely efficient in those cases. So we wanted to add a detachable drone to Hexa 360, which would allow, this is for future improvement, which would allow it to which would allow it to detect humans from a higher angle of vision, because obviously not all areas can be accessible via land in such a area. Because suppose if a high amount of debris is breaking its vision, the pilot won't be able to detect where exactly human is. So that can be a problem. But with a drone, he would be able to get an aerial view of the area and would be able to see that where exactly the person is. So that will be used to access the areas which are not accessible by land. And obviously the development would continue in future. Thank you. And I am Harsh Gupta, the lead programmer, and Sanchak Garg would be our lead circuit designer of the project. Thank you. Any questions would be welcomed.
Yeah, hi Harsh. This is Pranav. So just wanted to ask two things from your robot. That can you show me the physical design of your robot once more?
Yes, sir. We have definitely prepared a 3D model. Sanchak can present it in a second.
Yeah.
So, sir, this is our 3D. This is an image of the 3D model, I believe.
Okay. So
Sanchak,
basically,
can we show the 3D model also?
Sir, actually, I am not on the device. The software is not installed here.
okay, no issues, no issues. So basically, seeing your model right now, which positions you are basically planning to put the sensors on?
So, sir, as you can see, so when the lid of the chamber would be shut, it would be the cameras would be positioned in the front below the RAM, as you can see on the. So, uh, Sanchak, if you can point your mouse cursor to it here, right? Yes, sir. In the front, basically two sensors right in the front, two sensors in left area where the motors are attached, and two sensors on the other side, and two sensors on the back too. So this would provide us 360-degree of vision, and and these will be thermal cameras. So human detection will be very easy, as humans are warm-blooded, as we know, and they would be easily detectable using thermal imaging. And these camera would also allow the robot to calculate where the debris is accurately lying, and by using computer vision we would be able to achieve that how much height is of the debris and how the robot needs to move its legs so that it can easily climb up the debris.
So your basic point of attraction towards the debris is natural calamities like earthquake and all that things.
Yes, sir. The main idea is to rescue someone who is stuck in an earthquake, suppose, and this can be increased to other areas also. For example, like I mentioned in nuclear, suppose if there is a radiation leak in an area, that this can be used to rescue someone if required. So because it would be covered in an hazmat suit, so that would be efficiently possible, and we cannot risk some human to go inside a radiated area, so definitely a machine would be better.
Okay. And the second thing that I wanted to know from you is that as per your debris, the legs that you have used, don't you think that in an earthquake terrains, more point of contact towards the ground will be more efficient?
So definitely, so this is the trade-off. If we have kept more point of area of contact, that would also mean that we require more area to stand upon. So it won't be as efficient if we want to climb up a debris, suppose, because as you can see, no animal has wheels as his legs, because human Earth's terrain is not flat. It is full of debris. So legs are the most efficient way of traveling upon a debris like area littered with debris. And so we kept 6 legs instead of 4, so that we can provide enough area of contact only. So that is why we decided to go with 6 legs. We could have also put 4 legs in the design, which would have also made it easier to implement. But yeah, because we know that it would require it has to lift a lot of weight around, because it might have to carry some rocks or debris to rescue a person. So it definitely needs area of contact more, so that is why we kept 6 legs instead of 4. uh,
Okay.
Definitely, and that can be tested on practical grounds only. If you That is not something we can answer theoretically also.
Okay, thank you.
So our next participant is Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan's Mehta Vidyalaya.
Is the screen visible?
Participants are requested, just a minute, participants are requested to stay till the end of the event. Judges can ask any question from you at the end. Continue with it.
Good morning, everyone. I am Kushagra Gajjar from Bharati Vidya Bhavan's Mehta Vidyalaya, presenting you Vasuki. Vasuki is a search and rescue robot designed in India, reinforced with high-grade carbon steel frame and carbon fiber panels, equipped with the most finest sensors for human presence detections, such as TPL, Tracked Person Locator, and TDWS through the world sensors, and many more sensors for location monitoring. Equipped with 3 types of cameras, enables it to generate location visuals in any conditions. It has a 4K camera for a high definition visual and a thermal camera along with an IR camera, enabling it to generate visuals in dark conditions and giving a thermal view of the location. Using pneumatics as its prime power, it is provided with a pneumatic lifter for debris management and a pneumatic rope launcher, which would help in on-spot rescues. It holds a 10-liter carbon dioxide extinguisher tank and a pressure controlling nozzle for fire extinguishing. Its unique front wheels and the rear tracks make it able to defeat multiple terrains, including snow, and it can also advance through stairs. It can certainly be used in rescue operations after an earthquake, house fire, an avalanche, structural failing, mine collapsing, and can be also involved in search operations at remote locations such as mountains, caves, forests, deep valleys, and wherever it can advance. Its cost estimate would be 2 lakh INR. Thank you, and any questions are welcome.
Where is the pneumatic lifter you were talking about?
I'll just show you the STL. The cuboidal part with a tapered edge is the pneumatic lifter, which can extend, and the pneumatic actuators at its top can advance it as much as lower to the ground, and it can lift the debris just like in forklift.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
That was amazing. Our next participating school is DPS Shashantlok.
All right. Greetings of the day, everyone. I hope my screen is visible. So today, I, along with my partner, Aryan Panigrahi, will be explaining the concept which we have been working on for the competition. Our presentation and the document covers the working, the requirement, and the cost and the implementation for the same. The main focus of the project is not just rescue operations, but also better predictability and preparedness for future disasters as well. Aryan, can you please explain them the working and the requirements?
Yes. So this is the project we've been working on for the past few days. So this is a basic hovercraft which uses air pressure to float a few inches above land or water, and wheels can be attached depending on what situation you're facing. So as for the requirements, we will need a command and control center to which the machine will be linked via low frequency antennas and allow quick data transfer. And another antenna will be linked to a satellite to enhance navigation. Advanced technologies used here makes it a complete package. I would like Sriman to take over now. I think you muted. I think. Sriman.
All right, thank you so much, Aryan. Now we'll be talking about the cost and the implementation because it involves research, a high research and analysis. We'll be requiring a command and control center setup, and we intend to use one supercomputer like Saga, which will be connected to every unit. And the entire cost of the setup, which we are providing here, is just a one-time investment, and the further cost will be minimal. Also, as we'll be requiring many data scientists for analysis purposes, it will also generate employment opportunities in the data science sector, which is one of the most up and coming sectors in the country. Now, coming to the presentation, we have the working principle over here. So we are using external advanced technologies, and we are integrating it with our project. And the best part, the key highlight of our project is the post-disaster effectiveness, accurate survey and analysis backed by advanced technologies will not only give us a chance to survive the disasters, but also, prevent the next one to some extent. Also, we intend to keep the research and the analysis quality so high that it will provide us with the most accurate record for the financial and the life losses which has occurred. Now, speaking about the implementation, the NDMA, which is the National Disaster Management Authority, along with the defense institutions can certainly make this into a possibility. NDMA's annual budget does allow them to experiment, try and test, not only in India, but smaller countries who are more vulnerable to these disasters can use our concept for rescue purposes as well as research and analysis purposes. From a market's point of view, the venture will certainly interest private enterprises, entrepreneurs, and investors, as it has a lot of opportunities for them. Research and analysis is also as important as rescue, because every year, we experience floods in the northeastern parts of the country, as well as cyclonic destruction on the eastern coast. That's why we have also focused on the research and the analysis aspect for the project. Now, some of the technologies which we are going to use are drones to map terrain and the magnitude of destruction, high quality heat cameras to locate the human survivors. We have attached a hovercraft at a 45 degrees slant to remove debris. Water drones will be automatically deployed to search for belongings and bodies, and it will be also useful during fire scenarios as well. We are also open to questions regarding working requirements and the market. Thank you.
Hi team. So basically, how you are planning to use a hovercraft in a fire terrain?
Aryan, will you explain? Will you take the question?
So a fire. One second, I'll just screen share. So basically, fires are like a concentrated heat zones, right? So the thermal camera we're intending to use will detect this high intensity heat zone, and we will equip fire hoses at the back. Right now, this is only for earthquakes and floods. So fires can also be implemented into this. Hoses can be put, and the basic location and nature of the fire can also be transmitted via these satellite antennas to our data centers. So the team working there can also aid.
Also for cost cutting purposes, everything which we have used, most of the things like the hovercraft attached in the front is detachable, and we can also install tires instead of the normal air pressure system we are using. So the mobility is something which can be toyed around with, so we have kept that in mind.
Okay. And the second thing is like, is this a man robot or it's in a UAV?
No. It is unmanned, totally unmanned. It
Yes,
can work.
so if it is totally unmanned, then how it will be performing in earthquake rescue operation? Because I
No,
cannot see
rescue
any
operations
arm
will
No,
be.
it will not actually rescue people. It will tell where people are and what the terrain is. So the people working at the data centers will decrypt this information and then use other people to, because some places are difficult to get to, and all we can't just search all the places in everywhere, because that'll be time consuming, and time is key, because humans can die if they're stuck. So this will just tell where the location is, and the data centers can tell other sectors like fire sector or the rescue sector to where they are.
Okay, and what
Yeah, and the
approximately?
research part is unmanned. Yeah, the research part, this will be carrying it automatically, and all the imaging purposes that will go to the data centers via the low frequency antenna. We are using a low frequency antenna for quick data transfer.
Okay, this robot seems to be very effective for the earthquake terrains, but I don't see any effectiveness of this robot in the water terrains. Because in water issues, people might be under the water, not over the water.
So we have underwater drones, and we have ultrasonic sensors for depth. So we also have life tubes, and so I mean, if they're stuck and they're floating around it, we can save them. But under the water, there's only like information.
Underwater drones can be used to map who all people are there, and the macabre, and motorized lifeboats will be automatically deployed once it receives the information. Plus we'll be accommodating people on the lower part of the machine as well.
Okay, thank you.
That was an amazing presentation.
Can I
Yes,
ask a
sir.
question? Can you show me the design again, please?
Yes, sir. 1 second.
So this is a hovercraft, right?
Yes.
So how do you steer and propel a hovercraft?
So we were intending to put fans here, but because we had submitted a design, so we didn't want to change it later. There were like two fans at the back, which like move in the left or right direction to move it, steer it.
We also intend to power it via two 4-stroke engines for the for the movement and propulsion purposes as well.
Yeah, you have to put fans or turbines in the back to propel it and steer it.
Yeah.
Yes. So, sir, it depends on the situation. For example, during earthquake, we'll need a four-stroke cylinder engine. However, during floods, we can install a turbine. So, the accommodation will be given. And as I said, for marketing purposes, we are toying around with the mobility of the machine.
Okay.
So our next participant is Vidya Mandir Senior Secondary School.
Hello. Hello, may I start the presentation?
Yeah, you can.
One moment. Once again, I'm having trouble sharing. Thank you. So today, before presenting a robot, we'd like you to think of two themes before we start. We'd like to think about the themes of minimalism and efficiency when we talk about our robot. Our robot is Slugdar. It's a steam locomotive underwater geomapping and ranging device. Uh, Slugdar is about the size of a human palm. It's 18 by 9 by 4 centimeters, made of largely extremely flexible resin. We've chosen this because
इसे तुमने इसी में से लिया मुझे लगा बच्चों ने टाइप करके दिया
नहीं 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 मैंने कल टाइप किया था ना इसी में से उठा के इसमें टाइप किया
ओह फिर तो अच्छा दो दिन ये चेक कर लेंगे मुझे बच्चों ने किया
इसकी आवाज क्यों चली
ma'am,
Ma'am, please mute yourself.
sorry. So we've chosen this because this gives the Slugdar an amorphous shape, which means it's extremely adaptable and can evolve based on what you'll see. It's extremely modular, so we can place what sensors we want in it. Slugdar has a polymagnetically X plate for the mounting of the manipulation device. It's equipped with a USB-C port for charging, and it has media for media transfer from the subsea camera, which records underwater. And the hexagonal pattern, which you will see on its surface in the next image, is due to weaving of highly efficient solar fibers, which is cutting-edge technology, and has 11.5% efficiency of conversion rate from solar energy. We've chosen the hexagon because the hexagon can be easily tessellated. This is the exterior. The interior. Now you might wonder how the Slugdar moves. Again, as I said, we want to convey the themes of minimalism, and we've used Occam's razor here to use one of the most minimalist methods of movement, which is ejecting water in the medium of water at a high velocity to let it move. It's equipped with foams, which are fluid-driven origami-inspired artificial muscles. Vakta et al. Have written a paper about this. We have been inspired by this paper, and we use this to maneuver and change the setting as foams are extremely strong. Slugdar uses a rechargeable nickel metal hydride battery chosen for its energy density, and a thermoelectric cell is located at its base. Both the interior and exterior use proprietary technology, and they don't use off-market materials for maximum efficiency. Again, we have used the principle of Occam's razor here to achieve the most simple and minimalist result. These are the Slugdar interior 3D models that we have made for certain things we believe are important. Of course, these are not all the interiors, but these are the interiors we believe are important, need to be highlighted in the Slugdar. Here you can see a video of how maneuverable and how these extremely simple muscles, fluid-driven origami-inspired artificial muscles are. You can have a look at this video if it plays. We like to say that we are inspired by the dorsal muscles in the human body, which are able to move in 6 degrees of freedom and are able to maneuver themselves completely while in any situation. Now, we'd like to discuss a bit about the manipulator. I'll give that to my friend, to my teammate Anand.
Yes, thank you, Vakul. The manipulator is a device that which translates and retrieves by the Slugdar. It's connected to the Slugdar by a polymagnetic key, making sure that there are no moving parts involved in its attachment. And the manipulator is made up of flexible aluminum alloy and a silicon pressure gripper attached to the tip, and it's controlled by 3 servo motors. Moving on to the pressure-based gripper.
You can see a picture of the manipulator
as well. Moving on to the pressure-based gripper. It's a gripper that it's at the tip of the other end of the manipulator, which replaces the traditional claw arm for a few reasons. Given the fact that the pressure-based gripper or the PBG can grip on many objects of variable sizes without any much problem, and its gripping strength is directly proportional to the pressure differential. Therefore, since it's underwater, the pressure differential increases as we go deeper, and it's also it allows multiple slugdar units to lift a single object, where in cases if you say use a claw arm, you may not be able to do so.
Again, we'd like to add that we have leveraged the principle of minimalism here again by using the external pressure itself in the water instead of creating a pressure inside and not wasting any energy at all, and using the natural external pressure to be able to grip irregular objects. Here's a video of the slugdar gripping an irregularly shaped object. As you can see, it's extremely versatile and can be used in a variety of situations. I'll let my teammate Anand cover underwater reconnaissance.
So the slugdar, one of its main purposes is underwater reconnaissance. Unlike it also has multiple other uses, but we'd like to cover this first. Since it doesn't have any air pockets, since the internals are coated with silicone and it's filled with water, it can withstand extremely high pressures with ease. And it also has its inbuilt water pump to propel itself, and it reaches the top speed of 35 kilometers an hour. And the next slide will show you how radar signals are visualized using flashing lights.
Yes, any flashing lights that you see in this video are due to transmissions of radar signals or simulations of that between each slugdar. Here you have a slugdar in the foreground and many other slugdar in the background communicating to this slugdar, which allows it to develop a complex swarm movement. If you've heard of Conway's game of life, you can see how these simple small units can develop almost a consciousness based on the fact that they communicate. Now we'd like to talk about swarming. So swarming, we believe, is one of the main things that makes slugdar an excellent innovation, because swarming allows it to be extremely versatile. And an example of that is we thought of a use case for the slugdar, which the guest speaker mentioned in the starting of the inauguration event. The guest speaker mentioned water filtration, and if due to the extremely high programmability and modularity of the slugdar, you can attach a water filter to these using the polymagnetically etched key by creating a lock and filter any water that it goes by. So that's one highlight of how efficient these things are and how extremely versatile they are, even though they have a sense of simplicity. A swarm is also powerful because a swarm can pick up larger objects than an individual might be able to using the pressure-based gripper. It's one of the other reasons you've chosen the pressure-based gripper rather than the traditional claw arm design. Here you see how a swarm can more efficiently map the seabed using pressure sensors on the bottom of them than a single individual. Back to Anand for energy sources.
So the slugdar has three main energy sources. The first one of them is obviously the USB charging. The second being the TTE, or tube-borne inspired thermal energy system, which we've come up with ourselves, wherein we use a thermoelectric cell with which the slugdar is able to convert the geothermal energy which it finds nearby to power itself, similar to a tube worm. And it can also relay the location to nearby slugdars in order to create a more efficient charging system. And also, because of the fact that it has solar fibers on its surface, it can absorb solar energy through that as well.
We like to add that these energy sources in order are the USB Type C port, the solar fibers, and the tube-inspired thermal energy system based on depth. So at a surface level depth, you can program the slugdar to return to the charging port the moment when it begins to run out of charge. For the solar fibers, you can still use it in locations where the solar energy is able to penetrate to the ocean. And for the tube-inspired thermal energy system, it is used in the deepest locations underwater where no sunlight is able to penetrate. With this, we'd like to reach the conclusion. Anant, if you I go back to Anand for this.
In conclusion, the slugdar is being composed of cost-effective and durable materials, so it has a very low mass production cost with a high level of versatility, and it can be due to its swarming nature. It also has a higher use case, and also because of its programmability, and it comes up to a rough cost of about 25,000 rupees per unit.
Please feel free to ask us any questions or give any comments.
Okay, so basically your slugdar is what's the major activity you are targeting your slugdar to perform?
We'd like
Is it a
to
rescue
think.
mission or it's a something like a gathering floras and faunas or something like that?
We like the main reason we it was designed is using for three main purposes, and for the fourth hidden one. The first purpose is for the mapping of the underwater seabed, which has not been thoroughly done. In fact, although it comprises two-thirds of the world's surface area, we have very little knowledge of what's in our oceans. It's even more unexplored than the moon, if you could say that.
Mm-hmm.
Second reason I'd like to add is because we believe that Slugdar is capable of helping energy companies using this TTE. They are able to most efficiently locate thermal energy sources. So, if you are an energy company looking into renewable energy, you would probably deploy Slugdar to most efficiently find. In fact, we have an algorithm which uses Hilbert curves, if you have heard of them, to cover maximum surface area. And since Hilbert curves are iterable fractals, we can deploy more of them and still have the same curve and same search pattern. It is far more efficient than any traditional single robot searching pattern. The third reason is we believe that first one is mapping the ocean beds. Second one is for thermal energy systems, and the third one is for modularity. We have expressed this many times in our PowerPoint. But since the Slugdar is basically an amorphous container of sensors, and it has a lot of free space, and you can swap out sensors easily. Uh, because of this modularity, you can use it for basically any use case that you want inside the oceans. It is so modular that we were able to think of a use case the moment our guest speaker mentioned. So that was the third one. The final one, we believe that it could be used for rescue missions for underwater divers, or it could be used as an automatic lifeguard. If you deploy a swarm of 50 of these underwater, let's say, they all have subsea cameras that are very efficient at locating people or sinking, let's say, and can report it almost instantly. We believe to do this, we didn't use any thermal cameras or anything, because in a recent paper published in Nature, there has been a not discovery, there has been a artificial intelligence program written to identify a human body. This is actually quite old, but this one is with 90% efficiency and does not suffer from the one pixel attack. Where if you change or modify one pixel, let's say I show you a picture, show the AI a picture of a human, it recognizes a dog or a monkey or something. This AI was developed, and we believe that it's most efficient, and it uses Occam's razor to use a subsea camera to recognize drowning humans. Those are our use cases, intended use cases.
Okay. And what about the range of operating device? Because this doesn't seem to be an autonomous operating device. So what will be the
No.
range that it will be
Uh,
operated from?
yeah, we'd like to show you one thing. One moment. Sorry. Once again, I'm locating the slide. Are you able to see the slide?
Yeah.
Yes. We believe that autonomous systems by design are inefficient. So we are using an adversarial neural network to train it against physics simulations of itself. So we will train this with the adversarial neural network, and as its training is completed, we will deploy it in the ocean. And once it's deployed, you will have a larger data set to analyze from and train it even further to achieve an almost perfect level of operation without human contact. So this is an
Okay.
autonomous design.
So you're basically trying to program his mind and then deploy this into the oceans to perform some certain tasks.
Yes, it's pre-programmed using adversarial neural network. So an adversarial neural network it trains against itself. So it's extremely efficient and deployment is very fast.
Okay. And how about its movement that you're talking about? Because I saw the video that you shared about the movement of the device. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
having any rudders or anything. So how you are
Ah,
planning to have the movement of the device?
I have a picture. I'll try to share it.
Mm-hmm.
Are you able to see this picture?
Yep.
Yeah. So as I mentioned before, the robot uses fluid-driven or origami-inspired artificial muscles. I'd like to tell you where we got the inspiration from this design, and then show the fluid-driven origami-inspired artificial muscles, because I believe that will give a better picture and idea of what you're thinking of while making the device. So we have the serratus anterior and the external oblique here. This gives the human 6 degrees of freedom. So if you try moving your waist, you can see that you'll be able to move in a circle. So this means that without the use of any rudders or external applications, which we believe is against the idea of simplicity or minimalism, we chose to use these fluid-driven origami-inspired artificial muscles. Now we'll show you a picture of one of those. One second. You share. Uh, One moment. I'm locating the picture in my desktop. Are you able to see the image?
No.
Uh, what about now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this, as you can see, if you compare it to the muscles that I showed before, dorsal muscle and the serratus, external oblique muscle and the serratus anterior, you can see that it's similar in design to these muscles. And as it's origami inspired, it can take almost any shape that you design it with. And in our presentation also, if you take a close look at the arm 3D model also uses the same fluid-driven origami-inspired artificial muscle, and this gives it an extreme amount of leverage. As in the recent paper, it was shown that it can have up to 3,000% its lift weight, 3,000% above its lift weight. So these muscles are extremely efficient and can move in any direction. Although it's not quite obvious from this, these are able to move in any direction. The slugdar is able to move the muscles in itself to change its heading, and it can move in XYZ axis using these muscles.
Okay.
So what are the sensors that you are using for underwater?
Yes. So we are.
Mapping, visual mapping.
Although as a slugdar is amorphous, we mentioned before, so the person who's using it can add any sensors they want. By default, the slugdar is equipped with a thermal sensor, a pressure sensor, and there's a special thing behind the pressure sensor which we wanted to mention. The pressure sensor actually is equipped with a piezoelectric surface such that it can maximize its energy input. So even though piezoelectricity is not, it doesn't touch against many surfaces in the ocean. If some ocean current were to press it against the surface, it would harvest some amount of energy using the piezoelectric pressure sensor on the bottom of it. It comes with a piezoelectric pressure sensor. It comes with a thermoelectric cell, and it comes origami inspired artificial muscles, and it comes with a subsea camera.
So like at a certain level under the ocean, there is no specific light or so. So how would you use a camera for that?
These subsea cameras are internally already equipped with a flashlight. Let's say if you have seen submarine videos on YouTube, you will see that only the creatures are highlighted in a weird halo type of, which is because of the Tyndall effect. Those creatures only are highlighted in the weird halo type of thing because the subsea cameras are already internally equipped with light.
Okay. So this is an underwater robot, right? So like a submarine, you have to control the buoyancy of the submarine to maintain certain depths of the submarine. So how do you plan to
Ah,
control the buoyancy of the robot?
So we didn't use a traditional submarine design because buoyancy changing is again against the idea of minimalism that you're going for. We know that water is the same density as water. So no matter what level it is, since Slugdar is filled with water, it does not float or sink. So it just uses the hydraulics inside to move around, similar to a fish. Let's say a fish does not float or sink by itself, so it's able to navigate itself without changing.
Okay.
Thank you so much for such a wonderful performance. Over to you,
Thank you.
Anushka.
I extend my heartfelt gratitude to both the judges of this event for sparing their precious time and being the part of this wonderful competition. Now I request Mr. Dhananjay Gambhir to say something about the event.
I would like to appreciate and congratulate all the participants on their hard work and great performance. The result may outshine the desired outcome, uh, but what actually matters is an individual's hard work and innovation. It is my honor that I have been given an opportunity to judge this remarkable event, and it is really great to be able to work with all of you here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your enlightening words. Now I request Mr. Pranabhat Sharma to say a few words.
Hi, first of all, good morning to all the dignitaries present in the event right now. Smita ma'am, Sumita ma'am, and everyone present over here. So first, the robots that they have shared, the models that the participants have designed, these are exceptionally good. First of all, I can say that because the thinking, the point of attraction they have taken up, the point of view that they have taken up for designing these kind of robots, it's pretty good. Like I have, first time I'm seeing that they are planning to use human sensors or human body designs. Like the inspirations that they are getting to on these kind of robots is very nice. Like because majorly people try to make an autonomous robot or something like that, but the designs that they have built are quite physically implementable. And these kind of designs are like the vision that they are trying to explain in these kind of robots are very much physically implementable. But I cannot say that this is purely hypothetical or something like that. These designs are something which can be implemented in the real life implementations and can be used for natural calamities exploitations. So I'm really glad to see these kinds of robots made by all the participants. Thank you.
Thank you for your kind words, sir. I'm also thankful to all the participating schools. We wish you luck for the oncoming results. And the results of this event will be announced in the closing ceremony of Technovision at 1 p.m. I request the honorable judges and all the participants to be the part of the closing ceremony with the same link. With immense hard work and efforts, ATL Club members have created a video summarizing offline events. It is an enriching and enlightening experience for everyone. I request all the participants to see and watch this video for their benefit. Over to you, ma'am.
Good morning everyone. Today I, Ritesh Sharma from class 9C and my friend Rudraksh Arora from class 9B are going to present our Arduino project which we have made on Tinkercad. In this project we have made a home security system using PIR sensor, gas sensor, Arduino Uno and other basic components. So main function of this is to detect any gas leaks or if someone is entering the house, which may be a thief or someone with wrong intentions. Now for further explanation, I will hand over to Rudraksh Arora.
So you could prevent these situations. The PIR sensor detects any movement like if someone passes through the PIR sensor, it would automatically light the LEDs and you would get to know that someone has entered your house, whereas the gas sensor works in such a way that it detects smoke, fire or any other gas leaks which might happen during some time. So this is our project and the source code, this is the source code and this is our circuit.
Video we will be presenting a project for enabling smart evacuation. We aim to find innovators to reduce the amount of injury and death caused by struggling against the fire during an evacuation. Project specifically aims at large and densely populated buildings like malls, hospitals, etc. Significant proportion of fatalities are not by the car itself, but by the panic that ensues during the evacuation. ESC targets not only to direct people to valid exits so as to avoid overcrowding, but its algorithm also ensures that the people do not accidentally directed to the exit near the hazardous farthest away, all the while minimizing the total evacuation. So how does it work? We used gas sensors and info devices with detecting the hazard time and the keypad to the number of people in the building. At any given time, as disaster strikes, and the serial monitor and actually log information on the building data to ensure that it works dynamically in a matter of seconds.
In designing the optimization algorithm that does the processing, we considered a few basic factors listed here, which we would definitely increase if we develop this project further. First of all, number of exits and their width. So as to ensure that the number of people directed to certain exit are proportional to the number that can handle. Distance from the trigger sensor and rate of gas spread was also considered. Smoke inhalation, farther exits are assigned higher. It's a snippet of how and the output that it gives on the serial monitor. We haven't used the keypad in this video so as to adhere to the time limit, and therefore we have assumed the number of people in the building to be 800. We verified the accuracy of our algorithm by comparing it to the GRE non-linear solver on Excel using the same parameters, and results came out to be within a 0.6%. So the logic for Excel was also developed by us and is partly based on delegation optimization problems. And we sincerely hope that our innovation may, with continued development and further improvement, much beyond these 5 days, become an actual commercial product that saves someone's life one day. Thank you.
Hello teachers and my dear friends. I am Rishima from Amity International School, Sector 6, Vasundhara, Zanzibar. Today, I'm going to explain my project of gas sensor, which I made in CAD on a computer board. By utilizing the basic gas sensor, this piece of circuit can detect the concentration of harmful gaseous substances like smoke, carbon monoxide, alcohol, etc. There are multiple levels of visual indication implemented in the form of LEDs which give the user a visual alarm about the danger level, like this. The LEDs can be lit locally or they can be placed at a far-off location. The typical applications of this gas sensor project may be as household gas detector, mainly as fire detector, or in office buildings. During the off hours, the visual indications at remote place can give the alarm to the control room supervisor of the entire building. Similarly, the concept can be extended to the pollution situation where the air gets laden with smog and the visibility goes down. In vehicular application, this sensor can give alert to the driver about smog level. When integrated with the vehicle electronics, this sensor can be used to manage the automatic brightness control of the headlights in smog-like situations. I hope you have liked my project.
Good morning. This is how you can use this item. Note that the display shows the moisture quotient. It's on the display. Right now it's showing 5. Let's simulate that the soil dries up. Like so. The LED goes red, the moisture quotient gets to 7, and the soil gets water through. As the water comes in, the soil will gain and the moisture quotient goes down. The LED turns green and the water is stopped by the sun. In case more water comes in, the LED will show a blue light.
In these pandemic times, there is a lot of circulation of used masks, gloves, and other medical equipment, especially in the hospital zones. Disposing of this waste requires a great deal of taking care. The garbage bins are in regular use, and many people touch them every day. This becomes a source of transmission of infection. Whenever we throw garbage into the bin, sometimes the bin accidentally falls, which makes the surrounding dirty. Sometimes the bin gets overloaded due to expansion, leaving the lid open. The garbage is there, forever spreading the infection.
Smart dustbin can be a way out. Basically contactless system. It is a cheap way to handle disposal and reduce the risk of the infection. It avoids falling of garbage in the surroundings on its own. It indicates the status of the bin and thus avoids its overloading. It finally helps in contributing to sanitation. So how it works? There is an IR sensor which detects movement in the front and opens the lid of the dustbin with the help of a servo motor fitted on the top. There is another IR sensor fitted inside the bin to indicate the level of the garbage shown by a LED. Is a smart dustbin. It is as I explained in the video, except for modification in the circuit. I fixed it at the back, but it is difficult to me to make a real one at home. So here are the all components. So at the top, the sensors, LED, Arduino, and the power supply. So I have connected the battery. Now, as I am moving my hand in front of the first sensor, the LED is glowing. So when the bin gets filled, this sensor through the LED will show us that the bin is full. Now I am moving my hand in front of the second sensor, following which the servo motor is lifting the lid up. After a few seconds, is letting it down. So this sensor detect people's feet.
Harshjan representing my school academy in this indigenous event of Arduino. So here I presented my project on Arduino, presenting a traffic light, a basic circuited representation of traffic light. So how it works is that first of all we have taken this Arduino board and three LEDs, one 7-segment display, a resistor, and as you can see on the screen. So first of all, as we can see, it contains three LEDs and it is naturally in traffic light. So red, yellow, and green. When it starts with the red one, so when it goes for the approximate 9 seconds, and after the end of 9 seconds, it also glows for the 9 seconds. It comes on the yellow one. It glows for the 3 seconds, and again on the red, and it continues in a loop, as we can see on the traffic signals. So here is my code for this project, what I have presented here. So first of all, it contains 7 LEDs. So here I have A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. These represent a different LEDs on 7 segment, and red, green, yellow represents accordingly the red one, the yellow one, the green one, and which is connected to the different ports. So the work setup which I have put on that mode, that all the LEDs are output and then the word loop. So it shows that in the first case that digital right high, so another two are low. That means at a particular moment, only the red light will be at a high position. That means it will glow, and the other two will be on the low position. So it will count down. I have made some user-defined structures. So it's 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and I've given a delay of 1 second. You can see. So similarly, I have done green also, that red and yellow will have to be low for the same time, and the green will be at high position. Again, a timer for 9 seconds, 9 to 0, as you can see here. And digital right low and green low and yellow high. That means only the yellow light will glow and the other two will be at the rest position. So as you can see, 3, 2, 1, and 0, again the yellow one same. So now I'm showing you so this is for the one that only these will glow, and similarly for the other 9 or 10, I will say for the 0 also, these this is my representation for this. So this traffic light which we see normally. Thank you.
अच्छा क्लोजिंग वाला जसवीर से बोल कुछ करना है क्या सुनीता भी बैठी है लैपटॉप इतना गर्म हो गया है सुनीता पूछ रही है क्या करें
क्योंकि पता क्या है इनका ना डिस्कॉर्ड पे हो सकता है कुछ। अच्छा मतलब डिस्कॉर्ड पे ये लोग आंसर कर रहे हैं ना वहाँ हमने काट दिया एडजस्ट हो गया।
Hello.
Good afternoon to one and all. I welcome you all to the closing ceremony of Technovision 2020. I request my computers to take over. Siddhant, over to you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Limitations live only in our minds, but if we use our own imagination, our possibilities become limitless. A very warm good afternoon to one and all present. I, Siddhant Singh, and my co-host Dia Kalra welcome you all to the closing ceremony of the inter-school mega event Atl Fest Technovision 2020.
As Edward Teller rightly said, the science of today is the technology of tomorrow. One can't deny the prime role of technology in today's education due to pandemic. In such an environment, competitions are important to enhance interactions, exchange of ideas, and camaraderie between students of different schools. ATL Fest Technovision, organized by Alcon Public School, is one such initiative towards its realization.
With that, we have reached towards the finale of this grand event. I am sure today's morning has been quite eventful, exciting, and fun-filled, as it was a learning experience for all the participants. One can discern their passion and excitement through their active participation in all the events. In spite of the remote situation, the caliber and enthusiasm of the students is well reflected in their work. Now, I would like to take this opportunity to invite our esteemed judge, Ms. Shumeta Mukherjee ma'am, to kindly say a few words of wisdom.
Am I audible? Can you hear
Yes,
me?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
you're
ma'am.
audible,
You are
ma'am.
audible.
You are audible, yes. So nice to, first of all, before I start a formal addressing, so nice to see my friends and my dear ones. I can't tell you what I'm going through, and I enjoyed thoroughly. So, my dear Alcon family, focused and aspired organizers, innovative students, respected chief guest, and my fellow judges. I really don't have any words to express my satisfaction and optimism today to be one among you. What a nostalgia to come to the same platform as a judge where I used to be a part of Elcon and organized different competitions. As rightly said by our chief guest, Dr. Manoj, and he said that India has number of avenues for students to exhibit their technological skill, creativity, and innovations, which is well recognized across the globe. It's really a treat to my eyes and realization to my soul to see transition of technology, which is all set to shake the industry floors and workspaces for today and tomorrow. The curiosity and inquisitiveness have trickled down to young school-going students, and I must thank you, teachers, for guiding them to such a level which I felt that I am at the top of the world and Alcon is the best. And the participants, you were incredible and mind-blowing. I mean, I really don't know how other judges have done, but for me, you all are winners. I mean, I realized that there are 30 of you, I was told, and only 3 trophies, which is there on the table. If I shout, go right now, and all of you will be all over to grab it because you all deserve it. But unfortunately, mathematically, we have to restrict only with 3, you know. So you are the most skillful stakeholders of the country, and the responsibility lies on your shoulders to change the whole country aggressively and make it a dream-filled, digital, and AI-rich country. Say goodbye to China. No entrance of China to this world. We should come as a leader. Thank you once again, each and every one. I can always understand what kind of a hard work you have put together to bring such a successful event. I will certainly share this with my university and get some words from my vice chancellor and other directors. And thank you once again, Dr. Sunita. For you, you are not only a good friend of mine, but always been everlasting inspiration, and your appreciations are always in my heart. Thank you, Veni. I have no words to express my gratitude. And JD, I always feel that we are still working together. For me, it's no difference.
Thank you. Thank you, Sumita. Thank you.
Thank you. Love you, Shumita. Love you, Shumita. And we are blessed with vibrant, young, dynamic principal, sir.
Thank you, Principal Sir. One day, sometimes, I will certainly come and meet because I've heard so much about you from all my good friends. So I am sure I'll have an opportunity to come and meet him. Thank you once again, and a healthy life and meaningful life to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
God
you.
bless
Thank
you.
you.
You're most welcome and look forward to meeting you at the campus, not virtually, at campus.
Yes, I will,
Thank
sir.
you for sparing time to be.
I will, sir, surely.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your valuable inputs. These competitions and projects are just a channel to imbibe one special quality among the students, which is scientific temperament. These sets of skills will remain with our participants forever. This platform gave wings to our participants' imagination. As Albert Einstein rightly said, imagination is more important than knowledge. Now is the time for the result declaration. But before moving on and reaching to everyone's curiosity and inquisitiveness, it's time to present a credit video saluting the relentless efforts and hard work put in by each member of the Atl Club to make it a success. Over to you, Smita ma'am. I would like to take the opportunity to invite Mr. J. Gupta to say a few words about the event.
Hi everyone, my name is Jay. I'm a third year computer science student at NTU Singapore. Firstly, I'm honored to be here with you today on this exciting event. And thanks to Zoom, people like me can tune in no matter where they are. I was thoroughly impressed with the submissions we got for our event, and it's an inspiration for me to see how far the students have come when it comes to advancement of technologies and skill sets at such a tender age. I don't have much advice for all the students who are here, but one thing I would like to say is that even if it sounds a bit cliche, is to dream big and work hard consistently. Once you start working for your dream and passion, you really give yourself a chance to indulge in happiness. And only once you're happy, you can dare to become the best of the kind in the work that you do. People really overestimate what they can achieve in a day, and they really underestimate what they can achieve in a year. School life is a golden period for most of us, and it's easy to push ourselves really hard. With that said, I would like to give credit to the organizers for organizing a commendable event, that too virtual for the first time. And I'll pass the stage back to the organizers. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I would like to invite our judge, Divya Garg ma'am, for her kind words.
Hello, all. First of all, I would like to thank you all for inviting me here. It was a great honor for me to judge the event Ignis. I am amazed by the performance of the students of this age. The event itself was a wonderful opportunity for the students, and I am thrilled to see the level of knowledge and innovation that came out of the participants. By seeing all the hard work and dedication these students gave for the event, I feel like this event to be of a great success. Keep up your effort, guys. You did amazing. I wish you all the very best for the future. And yes, I want to tell you one more thing. Never ever give up. Success will kiss your feet. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now is the most awaited time for which every participant is looking forward to. Time when your days of hard work gets paid off. Time to meet the anxiousness of our participants.
As Colin Powell rightly said, success is the result of perfection, hard work, learning from failure, loyalty, and persistence.
With this, we have reached towards the result declaration of our event. So I would like to announce the results of our first event, Artificial Expedition.
Okay, so moving on to our first event, Artificial Expedition. The third position goes to Amity International School, Gurugram, and the participants are Rachit Anand and Atharv Gogia. So I think there's a tie between two schools. We have Vidya Mandir Senior Secondary School, Malapur, Chennai for the third position as well. And the participants are Anant T.A. and Vakul N. Raghavan. The second position goes to DPS R.K. Puram, and the participants are Tanmay Singhal and Aniket Negi. Now the most awaited. First position goes to Bharti Vidya Bhavan's Mehta Vidyalaya, and the participant is Kushagra Gajjar. Congratulations to all the winners. Moving on to the next event of the day, Transition. The third position goes to Mothers Global School, and the participants are Ishan Mendirata and Prachi Malu. The second position goes to Shivnadar School, and the participants are Riya Chadha and Vidush Gupta. The first position is secured by DPS Sushant Lok, and the participants are Siddharth Nair and Raghav Jindal. Congratulations to all the winners. Now, we have Game Jam. For the senior category, the third position goes to Delhi Public School, Noida. And the participants are Vihan Dhaka and Akash Raj Jindal. The second position goes to Bhal Bharti Public School, Noida. And the participants are Kartike Agarwal and Harshit Sharma. The first position goes to Vidya Mandir Senior Secondary School, Malapur, Chennai. And the participants are Arjun Sridhar and Vignesh Kanappan. Congratulations to each and everyone. Moving on to Game Jam Junior. The third position is secured by St. Thomas School, and the participants are Raghav Dhingra and Shreyansh Maheshwari. The second position is shared by two schools, Mothers Global School and Manav Sali School, and the participants are Arnav Singh Kent and Saksham Thaplial for Mothers Global School and Ridhima Bajaj and Noisha Mittal for Manav Sali School. The first position is backed by Amity International School, Vasundhara, and the participants are Saransh Joshi and Shivangi Joshi. Congratulations to all the winners. Moving on to the last event of the day, Engineers. The third position is secured by BVB Vidyashram, and the participants are Kaustubh Khandelwal and Chaitanya Sekra. The second position is again shared by two schools, DPS Sushant Lok and DPS Chandigarh. The participants are Aditya Dey and Satvik Prasad for DPS Sushant Lok and Vansh Goyal and Akshit Gupta for DPS Chandigarh. Now, the first position goes to Amity International School, Gurugram. The participants are Dhriti Verma and Advait Garg. Heartiest congratulations to all the winners. E-certificates for the participants will be sent to the registered mail ID of the school within a week.
Now, I would like to invite you, Anish, the Vice President of our ATL Club, for a vote of thanks.
Good afternoon to the esteemed guests and dignitaries, honorary jury, teachers, and dear participants. It is indeed a privilege to conclude the event and express my heartfelt gratitude on behalf of the ATL Club and Alcon Public School. You, Inish, take immense pleasure and pride to express sincere gratitude to everyone for sparing time and gracing the event with your presence. I would like to thank our director, principal, vice principal, and my mentors for guiding and motivating us unconditionally. On behalf of my school, I extend a really hearty vote of thanks to the chief guest, Dr. Manoj Kumar Pataria, who found time from his busiest schedule to grace the occasion with his presence. I would like to thank the judges for being here at a moment's notice from all around the world and judging the projects fairly. I also applaud the comparee for doing such a wonderful job comparing the event. Now, as we all know, an event of this scale would only be possible because of a massively talented team. Therefore, I would like to thank everyone who worked hard day and night without a break to make this event the great success that it is today, not just as the vice president of ATL Club, but as a part of this team. Finally, I would like to thank all the participants who joined in to express their views and ideas on this virtual platform. Over to Dia.
Thank you, Anish. Now I extend my heartfelt gratitude to all the dignitaries, judges, participating schools, and my fellow participants for being a part of this fest and making it a huge success. Congratulations to all the winners. Thank you so much to everyone for joining.
Thank you everyone for joining us. This is the celebration of the talent of young learners and their achievement. Thank you.
Yeah, well done, everybody. Well done, Dr. Sunita and the entire team, the anchors and everyone, the vice principal and the entire team. You did a fantastic job. Keep up the spirit.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank you, sir. Your words are very
Thank you,
motivating,
sir.
sir. Thank you, sir. Your words are very motivating. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Jasmine. Thank you.
Welcome, ma'am. Welcome.
Very successful event.
Thank
Very
you.
successful.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.